The $180 million film.
Sorry, I can't help it.
So whenever we say we go and see a film, we usually see it separate because we can't stand each other.
That's true.
But we did go see this one together. We were sitting next to each other.
By accident.
Paul got Skittles and I got M&Ms. I say I got them, but my wife got them and I just stole them off her. But
stole my Skittles too, you prick.
What did you think, man? What was your thoughts?
It might be fresh in my brain, and if anybody is here coming to hear me bitch about it or to see if I reverse my stance of being a Marvel fanboy, you're not going to get it because I adored this film. I thought it was fantastic.
You raved about it more than I thought you would actually.
Yeah,
you really fucking enjoyed it.
Either was the mood I was in, or just it caught me at the right time, or whatever it is.
Sure.
For where I'm at, because we only saw it on the weekend, like 2 days ago. So I'm still buzzing off it, and I'm like, I haven't had a chance to come down or see anything wrong with it. So
sure,
I don't think I'm gonna have anything to do to like put the boot into this film because I'm like, no, that was everything I wanted and more. It was just brilliant.
Yeah,
and
I've written down.
I think actually now that I think about it, might have had something to do with the fact that morning we watched Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's true, actually. That like it couldn't get much worse than that at all.
Yeah, like you said, it was night and day. It was you couldn't get two different types of films.
I know, and that one, and the funny thing is, the one that we just watched, Amazing Spider-Man 2, was 200 million, so it was 20 million more than this one, and these guys did 10 times more. But
and the commentary we did on that, the film was so bad it broke our equipment. That's how bad the commentary for that was for us.
For some reason, my laptop just started heating up.
It wanted to die. That's what it did. It wanted to die.
Paul stopped recording the last 20 minutes. It was just like, nah, fuck this. I can't be bothered.
No, I'm going home.
But yeah, like it did the equivalent of literally just drop the mic going home. So it's just like I'm done here. But yeah, I've written down some notes and actually they're all positive. Like there was a few little niggly things, but like I have to agree. Marvel just do a great job. For me, they just do a great job of making their films different as well. Like it wasn't a Thor or it wasn't a Captain America. It was like a proper, true to the Spider-Man story. Like he's a kid. He's a kid in the film, and they did just a great job of portraying that and like his like when he was in school and the mistakes that he made, and then having like Iron Man as kind of the father figure. I just thought they did a great job overall there.
I liked how when we're talking about Amazing Spider-Man 2, which we will not do after this because it's shit and it doesn't deserve to be in the same sentence, but it's definitely a case of Amazing Spider-Man 2, it seemed like nobody had watched the first one. But on this film, they clearly sat down and they said, okay, they did this, and wrong. And they went back to Tobey Maguire and they said they showed this, and this. None of that. We can't have anything at all. So everything people think they're going to get from a Spider-Man film, they don't get. And everything they should have got, they do get, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
So there's no Uncle Ben dying. There's no saving the world. There's no swinging through skyscrapers in Manhattan. Like, one of my favorite bits is when he's up the Washington Monument, and then spoiler, the suit is telling him how high he is. Like, you're 550 feet up. He's like, oh Jesus, I've never been this high before.
Shitting a brick.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's brilliant, because usually you see Spider-Man in all the other films, he's swinging from the top of the Empire State Building and he's going all around downtown Manhattan, and this is like, no, he's only a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He hasn't gone that high yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he I was going to say, the actor that they chose for it as well, like, I think he's like 18 or something, but he's in the film, what, 15? Supposed to be like 15.
He's supposed to be a 15-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought they just, because he made like some mistakes in the film and stuff, but just I thought he really brought his A game as well. Just I really felt a connection with it, especially with him in Iron Man as well. Like I definitely saw, like even in Captain America, Civil War or whatever, when he was introduced there, and you never even saw him. You just saw him behind a mask, just his voice, you know, and his swag, I guess you can say, that he brings.
He's definitely got a good connection with Robert Downey Jr. They have a great chemistry the way they play things.
Yeah, but going back to that Amazing Spider-Man, when we were watching that,
I said we don't bring it up again.
We're gonna bring it up every other minute. Just when we were watching it, it was just, for me, it was very kind of cliche and it was very cheesy, and like his hair would be dangling in a certain way because you could tell someone was like, oh, you know, make sure that you're facing this direction, and then there was no one in the background in a busy street and things like that, and it was very, very movie set piece, whereas this one, it's just like your typical Marvel film. It's like brilliantly done, and it didn't have any of that, and I think you could tell, like, we know these films and we know that Marvel had a lot of say in it, but I think your average Joe could also tell that now when they watch that film. I think someone that was to watch that Spider-Man film, they would say, was this done by Sony? You know, they'd at least question it, you know, because all the other films you could just tell, like, oh yeah, this is Sony, they're just kind of going down the cheesy route, oh, he's going to kiss him and all that lot.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it had that Marvel special sauce. Special sauce is the word of the
hashtag special sauce.
So,
Edgar Wright's got it. This movie's got it. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. And how did we feel about those Avenger Captain America videos?
Oh, they were fantastic.
It had really, really funny moments. Like the film, like, made us laugh out loud quite a lot, didn't it? So
I think the film did a great job of making it seem like Spider-Man was never not in the MCU. It starts off, you see the big Chitauri invasion, all the tech that the Vulture and his crew were using. It's all Chitauri tech. Yeah. And then,
I really enjoyed actually seeing the what was it, Chitauri or Chitauri. You saw some of those big monsters that attacked in Avengers.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, I loved seeing all of that, and then like the ruins and stuff. I loved that. That was really good.
Yeah, and that's usually the kind of stuff you don't see in the movies. Is like, oh, they destroyed the city. What happened next? It's like, oh, that's what happened next. And then Tony Stark was a prick. He was trying to do the right thing, but he was taking jobs away from real people. And like, you can understand Adrian Toomes completely from the first scene.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. Like, everything he's saying is true. Tony Stark doesn't give a shit. Tony Stark nearly killed everybody. The big guys up the top, they don't care about the little guy. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing for me that was definitely, they thought it was, again, that point of like, they looked at all the other Spider-Man films and they said, what have we never seen Spider-Man do? Let's do that. And all the stuff that made me fall in love with this film is the stuff that people won't talk about, in terms of, it's not the Vulture costume, which is scary and terrifying and great. It's not the Iron Man scenes or the ferry scenes or the action. It's all those little bits, like him not quite sure how to be a superhero. He's 15. He wants to get out of school so he can be Spider-Man. So he runs out, and then like the stuff he's doing around the neighborhood is just like getting people, giving them directions to an old lady, and getting mistaken for, or making the mistake that a guy's trying to rob his car when he's just trying to get the keys out. And then there's a shouting match, and he's just standing in the middle of the street. Like, he's just standing there being like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And like when he attacks the bank robbers, and then that gun goes through like his favorite, you know, store, and then he's like, shit, I could have killed him.
Yeah.
And like just that scene of him thinking like, you know, I could have died and I could have killed someone else. You know, like, I know I want to step my game up and I want to save the world and stuff, but just learning those lessons as well were like, it all adds up to something pretty awesome. Like, he learned so many lessons during that film. Like, even I loved again, spoiler. When he's in the car at the end and his the dad dropped off the daughter to prom, and then he apologizes to him. Like he said, he gets Peter Parker to say like, say you're sorry and all that lot, and you'll never do it again and stuff like that. And then he also comes back with, because I will fucking kill you and everyone that you love. Little things like that. It's like powerful words. And after everything that
especially coming from Michael Keaton, who did a great job.
He did a fantastic job, really good. Like I was, when I saw him in the trailer, I was mixed, and then I was like, no, 100% really carried the film nicely.
And can we talk about the twist? Like, did you see that coming?
I did not see that coming. Yeah, go ahead.
That was it's got to be one of the first times in the last few years I've been genuinely surprised in a movie. Where Peter goes up for the homecoming dance, picks up the girl of his dreams, and then it's Adrian Toomes, it's the Vulture, is the dad, and I'm like, oh my god, that's
such an awkward moment. Very, very good. Because the funny thing is, I wasn't thinking it when I was watching it, but now I think about it, it's like, well, where was the film going to go after that, and like what was going to happen? But yeah, and then as soon as I saw him answer the door, I'm like, oh, this got real good.
Yeah, like if people are listening to our podcast and they've probably watched my YouTube videos, I would say that Marvel have watched my YouTube videos on how to write, because I know nothing, so they've ignored it and they just know what to do. Because everything I talk about is in this movie. The villain makes sense, the hero has to make choices, and the ending is brilliant because the hero doesn't do anything. Right at the end when he has to fight the Vulture.
Right.
And like the Vulture in this is fantastic. It's like a human jet engine. He's terrifying. The first time he beats Spider-Man, he kills him. It takes Iron Man to save him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a proper dangerous motherfucker in this giant, huge suit that's clearly able to kill anything he wants.
And he's out to kill as well. He's like, I don't give a fuck that Peter Parker's 15. I will kill you.
Yeah, like the only guy he properly kills is by accident. He kills. He kills the poor man's
the guy
Tom
with the
Hardy.
gun.
Yeah.
He thought it was poor man's Tom Hardy. I like that. He thought it was like the gravity.
Yeah, he's like, isn't that the
anti-gravity?
Isn't this the anti-gravity gun? No, it's over there. It's like, oh.
Yeah. I love that.
You're the shocker now. But in all seriousness, it ends with Peter. He stops the plane crash. He's a hero, but he's not strong enough to beat up the Vulture. The Vulture just gives him a beating down on the beach, and then the Vulture just loses because he's greedy and he has to get the crate and all that. And then Peter shows that he's a hero by saving him. It's not just a case that the film ends because Spider-Man punched the bad guy. He was stronger than the bad guy. The two things that made him... Actually, there's like... The whole movie is just this great... not projection, this curve of just showing how much of a hero Peter Parker is without doing any of the things you expect from a superhero movie. He doesn't save the city. He doesn't rescue the girl. Like, there's no girl damsel in distress at the end of this. Everything he does is always making the right choice in a difficult situation.
Yeah.
He doesn't go out partying. He doesn't use Spider-Man for his own benefit. He doesn't try and get the girl because of his powers. He doesn't reveal his secrets to get anything. And at the end, he saves the guy who was trying to kill him and knows who he is and has threatened to kill his family. Like, that's proper heroic choices. That's what I mean. I can't stress how this is the best Marvel movie I think I've seen. I think it's better than Guardians.
That's a bold statement.
I know.
It's a bold statement.
I want to see it again.
I don't know. I do. I definitely want to go see it again. I was saying that as well. Like again, Baby Driver is still a great film, but I'm not in a rush to see it again. This film, like, I'd happily go see it again in the cinema. Again, in the cinema. So I rarely go see films twice there. So that says a lot as well. So, but I just going into the spoiler because I had to look it up. I'm wondering if you looked it up as well. The ending of the film after, I don't know if, yeah, I think it was after the credits. You know, when he's in prison.
Yeah, when Toombs is in prison.
And
yeah.
So you know the guy that he talks to. Did you read about like he's got the Scorpio on his neck and he's actually like a separate villain? He's like a big villain.
Oh, he's Gargan, isn't he?
I think that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
And then, but the fact that he didn't give up that he knew Peter Parker and he knew who Spider-Man was, does that mean the Vulture's like good and on his side, or do you know? Like,
I just think it just means it's a good character. Like he's got enough decency that kid saved his daughter and it saved him, and he's not going to turn him over.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's going to mean he's going to be a good guy. I just like that's what I mean about him being a great villain. He's not evil. He was doing it. He was doing it for his family, and now that he got caught, like, what benefit does it have him to have Peter Parker killed now?
Yeah. Because even at the beginning of the film, like, he was a good guy, and that was weird because at the beginning of the film, I was like, oh yeah, he's playing this really awesome guy, and then suddenly he had like the temper, and then it cut eight years in the future, and then he's like this vulture, but you can see the 8 years have just taken over, you know, and the money and the profit and this and that. So it was good. It was a very well told story. And
they have a lot of, you just mentioned there was the bad guys, the Scorpion in it. They have a lot of villains, and they have a lot of Easter eggs, and they have a lot of little things for, you know, the nerds like me or whatever, be like, oh, that's cool, they mentioned this and that. But none of it felt like Iron Man 2. It didn't feel like they were setting up another movie, or it wasn't Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is even worse. They weren't like, oh, in the future we're going to have this villain and we're going to do that. They're just like, oh, look,
I know.
This is cool. Look at this. This is cool over here. Like,
the film could stand up on its own. Like all the other Spider-Mans, they always alluded to like, oh, there's going to be a Venom, or there's going to be a Rhino, or this, and it's like, we don't need any of that. Like, this is the film on its own, and there will be another one, because that's the other thing at the end, didn't it say? Like, there will be another Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man will be back, or Spider-Man will return.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck you guys, we know this is good.
Yeah, if you make a good movie, then it's good. And Donald Glover's in it. He's only in it for a little bit. He's one of the Easter eggs.
Right.
He plays the Prowler. And and he talks about, oh, my nephew lives in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
In the comics, his nephew is Miles Morales, who is the new Spider-Man.
Right.
So it's even things like that which you do not need to know that. They just put it in a way that it makes sense in that scene. But if you know, then it gives it a little bit of icing to it. But that's what I mean. Totally. Nothing in this film, I don't think. Do you think? Because I know way too much. Do you think you have to have watched any other movies to watch this? Could you just walk in and enjoy this film?
Oh, you can completely go in and enjoy this film, and like, they made it as a standalone film as well. Like, I don't think you need to know anything about the Avengers or anything else. So.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like, it's a comedy. If it's anything, it's a comedy.
Oh, yeah, it just had a really good vibe to it, and it was a completely different vibe to the other Marvel films. I just looked up right now, and it looks like it's made 120 million in its first opening week.
Oh yeah, it's up there, number one. I think it's got the third highest opening for the year
great.
Or something. Which means that they'll definitely, great. Sony should definitely be like, okay, you guys can keep Spider-Man. You know how to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, I know we talked about this as well, is they keep rebooting that franchise because it does so well, the merchandise, isn't it? Like, everyone just knows Spider-Man. So, like, now they've got Spider-Man, but now they've got a good film. Like, they always had Spider-Man in the name, and they had, like, a shitty kind of just okay film here and there. But now they've got both, so I hope it runs away and does really well.
That's something I mentioned to you about the crappy version we won't talk about, and this version, is that the crappy version, Amazing Spider-Man 2, if I'm watching that, I don't know what age group I should be in. Because if I'm a kid, I'm not walking out of that film thinking I want to be Spider-Man. And as an adult, I'm not walking out being like, oh, it's like the Dark Knight. It's so complex and it's layered and it's all this. You're just like, that film is shit. But with this film, if you're a kid, you walk out, you want to be Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, big time. As soon as we got back, like it was already late here, but I was like, might load up that Spider-Man VR and have a go at that. Like I just wanted to go in. I wanted to go back into that world, you know. So
Actually, there's a scene I really like. I should bring up the scene with. He confronts the Vulture, and then the Vulture makes some really good points. He's like, they don't care about us, Pete. They don't care. And Peter Parker's still trying to do the right thing in the kind of way where he doesn't quite know what to do.
Sure.
And then the wings attack him, and he gets buried. And then when he's buried in that rubble, that's a pretty intense little moment, right?
That was really intense. I noticed that as well. He was like screaming out for help and like giving up, basically, wasn't he?
Yeah,
but
and
really
it's like like that scene that just is right on his face, and you can tell he can't move.
Yeah, he did it. That was actually a fantastic job because he was like super passionate, like putting 100% into that role. I did find out that what's the actor's name? Is it Tom
Holland?
Tom Holland.
British
Holland,
Tom Holland,
he played,
like you. He's probably from your hometown.
Probably is, yeah. He played Billy Elliot in the theatre in England for 2 years, so he's done a lot of theatre work.
He's a fit man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene when he did that scene, I was like, yeah, this kid is he's gonna kick ass in future movies.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope he does well.
There's like 3 moments in the last 2 movies, in Civil War and this, where you can just tell this guy's a good actor. There's the scene in the bedroom in Civil War, where like just if you look at it from an acting point of view, he has to go from happy, confused, trying to hide a secret, embarrassed by the secret, shocked, and then he plays this really delicate moment where he's just like, "Hey, Mr. Stark, you know when you don't do the right thing and then the good people get hurt. You can just tell there's something else going on." And then in this movie where Aunt May confronts him, and he just kind of breaks down. He just says, "I lost the Stark internship."
Yeah.
And then obviously the rubble one, I'm just like, yeah, this kid's a good job. And none of it compared to, like, as you always say, the cheese balls. There's no music. There's no like and there's no just crazy camera shots. It's just camera on his face, say your lines, and I'm like, kid's got it.
Yeah, it's good. When you break it down like that, you're totally right. Like, there was no kind of music in the background while he was doing those scenes and stuff. So
that's what made the rubble scene so good, because you can just hear him screaming, and that's it.
Yeah, I know. And then he comes round. But yeah, they showed that kind of weakness and him giving up early, but really, really like panicky, and you felt like, damn, yeah, that stuff is on top of him, and actually for a second there I thought, oh, maybe Iron Man's going to come down or something.
Right, yeah.
But then yeah, it's just like, yeah, great. That was an awesome. I actually forgot about that scene. Another one, just again, spoiler, and it was to the end of it, but I did love this. I loved that after the whole film, all the lessons he's learned, and he's still a kid. Is that he fucking puts his suit on, or during the film, like, his best friend sees him because he's climbing on the wall, and he closes the door and his mate sees him.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the film, he's got the suit on, and he's just in his room, and his bloody front door, his door's open, and then obviously his Aunt May's just like, what the, and then thing. But I love that, because it's just like, yeah, he's learnt and he's grown throughout the whole film, and like he's been invited into the Avengers. But yet he's got the bloody Spider-Man costume on in his bedroom, and he doesn't want his Aunt May to know. It's just like, so he's still got that kind of clumsiness to him.
Yeah, he's definitely a clumsy, like, learning how to do everything. Yeah, and that's another thing about him being a kid. Is like, that's what the kid would do if he'd gotten his Spider-Man costume back. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm Spider-Man."
Well, I think he's gonna bring a really cool and unique element to Infinity War and also his next films. I think with Infinity War, he's going to be seen as the kid, obviously, and I think they're all going to look after him. But there's going to be a couple of scenes where he comes into, a crucial moment where they need him, But I think having that element within the Avengers, because right now the Avengers, everyone's kind of like macho in a way. and then having the kid, I think it's going to be, he's almost going to be in a way a little bit like a Groot, like a baby, but I guess they're going to be with the Guardians of the Galaxy as well, so there's already going to be Groot there, but it's just a nice dynamic for the Avengers. So.
He'll definitely be the youngest character in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think
so, but
another thing I liked about it was I liked all of it. There we go. I liked all of it. Everyone's
you did mention after the film that you weren't as keen on some Iron Man thing.
Oh, that's just because I hate Iron Man. He's just a prick.
Well, I thought you liked Iron Man.
No, because he's always doing the same shit. Where
I guess so.
He's like, okay, I know I have created incredible amounts of danger and nearly killed everyone on the planet, but you've stepped out of line. It's always the same bullshit. He pulls it with everybody.
Right.
Tony, for God's sake, just accept the fact you're a fuck up, okay? Like this whole movie, all the danger Spider-Man's in is because of Tony Stark. Again. He's the one who took away the jobs from the regular contractors and turned the guy into the Vulture. And that's why we're at where we're at now.
Yeah.
Like, it always traces back to the fact that Tony's a prick. So when it's kind of ironic when he's like, if you're nothing with the suit, then you shouldn't have it. It's like, shut up, you rich prick. I just always hate Tony Stark. I just always do. But
okay. I didn't know you felt that way. All right.
No, but on an actual real level, the problem I kind of had with Stark was, and I know a lot of people have had an issue with like the timeline and this altogether, but this film obviously happens within a couple of months of Civil War. So just the way he's acting around, like at the start of the film is when the fight happens in Civil War, so he's still kind of cocky Tony.
Right.
But Civil War happens, he finds out that, Captain America's going to side with Bucky against him, even though his parents were killed. So it's just when we get to the end of the movie, the fact that he's back to being cocky Tony Stark, kind of bugged me.
Yeah, he did ask Pepper to marry him, though. But yeah, no,
he did,
I know
and they brought
like,
Pepper
back
into
to it. Yeah.
But again, it's not. This movie is a Spider-Man movie. It's not supposed to fix Iron Man.
No.
So
and I don't think that's fixable.
Yeah,
I don't think it's fixable because they'll just kill him. So.
They'll just kill him off. Yeah. Everything else I can think of in this film is just real solid. I liked, like I said, they don't have him on skyscrapers. They have him running through the backyards, trying to chase down the bad guys that way. He gets the suit from Iron Man. He doesn't know how to bloody use it. He gets trapped in that. What is it? The damage control center.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
It's like, how long have we been in here? 37 minutes. 37 minutes.
It's when he turns his. What does he turn off on the suit? He turns off
the training wheels program.
The training wheels. That was priceless.
And then it's like, oh no, Mr. Stark has been recording you the whole time. And it's like, oh yeah, really? Yeah, the baby monitor.
The baby monitor, yeah, it's so good. But then I loved that he like took the suit apart and took the tracking device off. Like you mentioned earlier, he's like he likes to fiddle around with that stuff as well, and he can make his own. He
makes his own web spinners,
webs and stuff like that. So that's awesome. Yeah,
like everything in this film for Spider-Man fans who grew up on the cartoon or on the comics. He's a kid. He's very smart, but he doesn't quite know what to do. And most of his problems are between trying to, act normal and like get the girl and just be a teenager, and on the other hand, like try and be a hero.
Yeah, I think they just did a really good job of like. I mean, I guess is this a reboot? Would you say it's a reboot? I guess it is.
Yeah, it has to be. Like, it's the third reboot of Spider-Man.
Yeah, so, but honestly, I think they hit the nail on the head, and I think they rebooted it properly, and I think that people that watch this and kids that watch it, like, this is Spider-Man. This is exactly Spider-Man. And you know how with Superman, Man of Steel, they rebooted that. Unfortunately, they didn't tell it the way a lot of people wanted.
Yeah.
And it might need another reboot, or Man of Steel 2 needs to be done properly. But this was rebooted for a reason, because it needed to be rebooted. But I think they've done the job. It's warranted the reboot. And this is now when you tell kids, oh, do you want to go see Spider-Man, or you want to watch it? This is, you should be proud of it. This is Spider-Man. Whereas the Amazing Spider-Man and all that lot was telling part of the story, but it was just cheese balls and just a broken story. Whereas this is, 100%, like a Spider-Man film.
And it's like you said, it's a nice small film too. Like, it's not trying to change the world or affect anything. It's just like he's fighting one guy who's stealing stuff.
Totally.
It'll
be interesting to see
no
where
nuclear bomb or anything.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see where the next one goes, because he will be in Infinity War, and then I guess they'll be back and he'll do another one. But hopefully he's not swinging through New York too kind of crazily.
Yeah.
But I after this film, I'm confident where they'll take it and stuff. So.
Yeah, and the thing with Marvel, well, this is a quick thing we can mention, is how there's a time, people are having an issue with the timeline now in the Marvel movies.
Sure.
Because the invasion in Avengers 1, that's at the start of this movie, and then the card says 8 years later, which puts us into 2017. Right. And then people are saying, well, then that means that the Avengers took place in 2009, but the movie didn't come out in 2009. And when did Iron Man?
Oh, come on!
And exactly, I'm like, don't give a shit. Like,
just go and see the film.
Not really. Go see the film.
Here and there, I understand. Like, if it's a big difference, but like when they're analyzing it that much, it's like, if that's really swaying a decision on the film, then like I don't know. Like I don't know what they want from it. So there's leeway on every film. So I don't think I think if someone is like giving it a 5 out of 10 because the timeline's slightly broken here and there, it's like it's a sci-fi film,
Yeah, and also it doesn't change anything really. Like none of these films are always going to be perfect.
No,
and if
I know we have a go at like DC and how that's broken, and unfortunately that is rather broken. And there are things to talk about on that, but. When someone is talking on like a smaller scale, a minute scale, it's just that's too hardcore, I think. So.
Yeah. So coming out of this is my favorite Spider-Man. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie, and it might just be my favorite Marvel movie. I'm gonna watch it again to be sure, but even the fact awesome. I want to watch it again. Yeah. Like I love I love the Winter Soldier for what it is and Guardians for what it is, but this one, maybe because my expectations were so low, I was just blown away. That might be it.
You weren't actually you weren't really in the mood for it. Like, you weren't really feeling it before you walked in. I remember you saying it.
No, but like, to give you an example, I sent a message to my cousin and my brother. We're all big Spider-Man fans as kids. And I said, go see Spider-Man. Just that's it. Nice. And I don't recommend movies to people apart from here, obviously.
Yeah.
I just go see Spider-Man. It's exactly what we wanted when we were 10 years old.
Nice.
So great film. Great film.
Yeah, great film. As Paul said, go and see it. We enjoyed it. I'm sure you will too. And then leave a comment of your thoughts as well.
Yeah, definitely let us know what you think. And
yeah.
Quick segue then. One of the creators of Spider-Man is Stan Lee. Stan Lee has an Omaze that's running now for the next month.
Boom.
Yeah, everybody knows Omaze. I love these guys. All you got to do is you go to omaze.com / I think it's Stan Lee Tribute. But just go to omaze.com because there's 2 great ones on now. The Stan Lee Tribute takes place in LA. You're going to fly out with a friend. You're going to be VIP guests. And then you're going to spend time at this big tribute where you're going to have hotel. You're going to stay at the hotel. Then you're going to go to the event, which is going to have all these people from the comic industry, movie industry. You can ask Stan Lee questions. You're going to be able to see him at the after show party. And the thing is, in case nobody understands Omaze, I'm not telling you to enter this competition so you give your money to Stan Lee. All your money goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation for kids. And if you don't know what the Make-A-Wish Foundation is, what's wrong with you? What they do is they take kids that are terminally ill or in bad places and they give them a wish, whether it's to go to Disneyland or whether it's to go to meet their favorite celebrity. I think John Cena's got the record for the most Make-A-Wish visits or something. Like, so whatever the kids want, they make it happen. Yeah. So that's Stan Lee. And obviously, didn't bring this up at the start. This is a private thing in his family, is that his wife recently died. They've been married for 70 years. Since 1947, they got married. So, condolences to Stan Lee. This isn't about him. This is an event for raising charity money. I'm sure he's going to be in a good mood when he's there, but I hope the guy's doing good. He's a hard-working man. He's into his 90s now. Yeah,
still featuring in all the films. He was in Spider-Man, wasn't he?
And he's in Spider-Man. He's a nice little cameo role in Spider-Man, still rolling. And the other competition that's on that I think I mentioned it before, is the Ben Stiller one.
That's the one, the dodgeball, yeah?
Yeah, so you can get to go play dodgeball with Ben Stiller. He's going to be in his White Goodman character. He's dressed up, so you can be with them. And it's for the Stiller Foundation.
I thought The Rock had some involvement.
Oh, he did some videos on his Instagram if you want to check it out. You know, like the old wrestling promos? Okay. He did a few of them for it, just to get it going.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think they've already raised like $1 million or something. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So again, Omaze, you can donate as much. I think it's like $10 is the minimum, and then you can donate as much above that as you want. Gives you extra entries, gives you special prizes, signed goodies, all that stuff. Omaze.com. Go check it out. And I think that's about it from us. If you want to send us anything,
I think that
you know the address. It's Rant and Bollox. It's the name of the show.
Let us know if you want any commentaries, any digging deepers, some rants, games that you want us to play, and we'll be posting lots of stuff. We've got, we had like a Rant and Bollox day a couple of days ago, so we've got plenty of games to upload, some more commentaries. I think next week's Game of Thrones, is that right?
Game of Thrones next week. This week we just released Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we also threw out Guardians there last week. So we're trying to get better, guys. We're trying to improve on the. You guys say you want it. We're going to keep trying to make it.
Boom. Yeah, Game of Thrones is on airing on Sunday, so we'll be talking about that on next week's podcast as well. For
sure. So. Yeah, it's going to be a good week next week.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Always great to be here, even though you guys aren't here, but maybe one day you will be. So we'll see how it goes.
And remember, we're always watching on that Nest Cam or thermostat or just your phone.
Just through your phone.
All right.
See you guys.
All right. Thanks again. And don't hate the fish. All right. Don't hate the fish. Boom.